right, cool. What's up? So I wanted to make a very quick video about emails and copy, and how to best write your emails, so that you can get emails that get sort of a 5, 10, 15% plus positive response rate, and you can book in more sales calls and everything like that. Sorry, I'm a little bit dark. I'm in Bali at the moment, and it is nighttime, and I need to shoot a video. I'm doing a challenge where I shoot a video every single day, so hence why it's dark. I haven't done it yet. So, anyways, let's get into it. So what you're going to learn in this is how to write an email that gets positive responses so you can then set up more sales meetings. And this is obviously with cold emails, right? Not email marketing or anything like that. This is with cold emails. So we're going to run through. The main purpose of emails is to open the door to a conversation for starting a relationship. It is not to sell. You are not trying to sell over email. People do not know you. They do not trust you. They do not give a shit about you. You have to open the door to a conversation by providing value, building trust, and trying to build a relationship, and actually genuinely giving a shit about helping them, right? So here, focus on building trust. You do this by adding value, right? The better you know your customers, the more value you can add to them, and the more trust you can build. So it takes a lot of time to actually understand your customers, their pain points, their desires. What are they looking for, right? What do they actually care about? What's the language that they use? Everything like that. And then use that as part of your email to actually elicit an emotion, and to make sure that your emails are relevant to what they actually want, right? So they're strangers. They do not know about you. They do not care about you. They just care about themselves and the problems that they have and how you can help them, right? And that's if you can help them, okay? So here's the ingredients of a good cold email. There are three main things. The first one is being relevant, right? So using publicly available information that tells the prospect why you are reaching out to them. So that is the question that you want to answer. Why am I reaching out to this person, right? Now, this could be an example here that they are hiring. They just raised funding. They just launched new updates. They launched a new product. They launched a new XYZ, fill in the blank, whatever it is. Some kind of information that is an observation that is a reason why you reached out to them. Now, this why needs to connect to the rest of your email and what you're offering. Because if you're reaching out to them for a particular reason and it doesn't connect to the rest of your email and it's completely polar opposite, then it's not going to work, right? And that's why so many people get this whole personalization thing. It's not about personalization. Relevance is the most important thing, right? And relevance is just basically saying, hey, I'm reaching out to you because of this, and this is the email that I'm writing to you that's going to help you with this, right? That's what you really, really, really are trying to say and trying to help them out with. You're not trying to write a personalized line that's about a compliment, and then all of a sudden you talk about something completely different. That's not relevant. They don't give a shit. It's fake. And it's like, people just see right through that crap. It doesn't work. Right? So, unless it's done in a really smart way, but again, it's all about being relevant, right? So, being relevant. And you do this by doing research. Now, this is where AI comes in. It's automating the research process. And for us, I use Clay to do this. It's so much better. But you just take the manual process of finding the information and work backwards from there, right? To automate it and to have technology help you leverage your time better so that you can have that, or that what's it called? The research at scale, essentially. So an example here could be, saw that you were hiring 2 sales reps in your London offices, right? Now, you want to be at least a little bit specific, but this also ties in with your list that you've got. So if you've got a list and you've built a list of, say, like 1,000 companies that are currently hiring in their London offices, then all of the London offices bit and hiring sales reps is going to be relevant, but the number of sales reps is going to be different depending on their job post. So you might want to change the observation then, or you might want to change the list. It just depends really on like what the targeting is. But the message and the list, they go hand in hand, obviously, right? So if you've got a list like that and you're sending a specific message to them and it's rightly timed and it's relevant, then it's going to be so much more likely that they're actually going to open the email, right? So another example of this could be like, there's like new government legislations that are coming in and they might not be aware, or they are aware, and you're asking them like, hey, have you seen this government legislation that's coming in that's going to affect you, right? Like if it's going to affect them, like no shit, they're going to have to be interested, because if they're not interested, then what the hell are they doing, right? So it's things like that, right? And there's a whole list of like buying triggers, and those buying triggers are really just around telling you like, this is an observation that you can make. Now the thing is, with observations and being relevant, this isn't the case that you can be for every single company that you reach out to. Some people just don't have the information online that you can find at a particular time to tell you that they are ready to be reached out to. So if you're not able to do that, that is okay. But 9 times out of 10, you want to try and make sure that your email is as relevant as possible, right? and find the information that you can. And another word for this is kind of like problem sniffing, essentially. So you're finding the problems that they have, and this is publicly available information. So yeah. Next one, lead magnet and good offer. Now this is like your catch-all basically, which means that if you're not able to write an email that's like really relevant because they don't have publicly available information on that particular problem, then a lead magnet is going to catch all basically. So this is something that adds value to the prospect before you ask for something. So an example could be if you're a recruiter, a recruitment firm reaching out to a company, rather than say like, hey, we can help you do this, you just give them the thing, right? They could be looking, you know that they're, for example, they're hiring like for these like let's just say a perfect example here is recruitment. You know that they're hiring for sales reps. You recruit and help companies hire top talent, right? And they've got their own individual posting. You then say, hey, I saw you were looking for this. I actually found 2 candidates, right? Can I send them across or send them across, right? You know, if they're looking for that thing and it's relevant and your lead magnet is basically the offer, something that you've created, something that you've done for them that can cost money or time, and you're giving to them for free, they will have goodwill. They will reciprocate because that's like, oh, wow, this is helpful. Being helpful builds trust. So you want to follow that. The next thing as well here is very relevant social proof or case studies. Now, again, this doesn't always apply because you could have a list of like 1,000, 2,000 plus companies or something, and your social proof can't always match exactly, right? But you can have a very segmented list of like 500 and you've got perfectly like matching social proof and case studies based on the list, right? For small companies or big companies, whatever. So if you do have it, great, add it in. If you don't have it, then that's also okay. You don't necessarily have to add it in. But if you have, you need to always have one of these components in your email, right? And more than likely it's going to be lead magnet / offer. If you can then add relevance or social proof, and if you can add all three, that is going to create emails that give you like literally 15, 20% plus positive response rates, and you'll literally just have leads coming in, right? So those are some of the ingredients of a good cold email. So biggest mistakes with cold email: too long. Stop making it like a freaking paragraph. Stop making it boring to read. Stop making that large blocks of text or anything like that. Make it short and sweet. Too formal, too professional. Don't start with like, dear, name, I hope this finds you well, all this crap. Like, just get to the point. Just get rid of all this. You're not a robot. Write like a human. Write like a human, right? Stop making it all about I, we, our, like things like that. Just make it about them. Focus on them. They don't care about who you are. They don't care about anything to do with you, right? They don't know anything about you. Always ask before giving. So don't ask them for, other way around. Always give before you ask. But in this case, the mistake is always asking before you give, right? So this could be like, hey, are you free for a 30-minute call, right? They do not know you. Why are they going to jump on a call for 30 minutes with you when they do not have a clue about who you actually are, right? They have no idea. So don't even ask. Why would you ask for that before they even know anything about you? You're a stranger. You wouldn't jump on a 30-minute call with a stranger. So why are you asking them to do so? Don't be boring, don't be annoying, and don't be irrelevant. So being irrelevant just means being generic. Don't just send generic emails and spam people, like make it specific. Don't be annoying, so don't follow up like a million times. If someone says no, don't just leave it. If someone doesn't follow up after 5 times, just probably leave it. And don't be boring, right? Again, just goes back to doing the whole too professional, too formal thing. Don't be boring, right? You're human, be human. Cool. Next thing, best practices. And I'm not going to go through everything in this video. I'm actually going to share this doc afterwards, but I'm just going to go through some of the best practices. So it's just the polar opposite of the mistakes. Keep it short and sweet. So anywhere between 50 to 100 words is perfect. Longer than 100 words, unless it's like hyper relevant and perfect, try and keep it below. The goal is to try and get their attention and then get them to read the next line and get them to read and be interested in your offer. So short and to the point. Keep it relevant. Make sure that it's actually specific to them and what they're doing. Make sure that it's very easy to read. So have spaces in between points. Don't have long blocks of text. Don't have any of that kind of stuff. Make sure that you're adding in some kind of personality. Keep it somewhat professional, but also casual as well. Don't be too don't be overly professional, or don't be overly casual by being like, yo, what's good, or anything like that. You don't want to do that. Obviously, it depends on who you're targeting. If you're targeting like CFOs or something at large corporates, probably going to talk a little bit differently to them as you are with like a solopreneur, just different vibes, right? So keep that in mind. Give before you ask. Always give before you ask. Don't just ask, give, and then people are more naturally inclined to reciprocate because you've helped them out. And when you give, it has to be helpful. You can't just give for the sake of giving. It has to be helpful. And and then make it always about them and their particular problems. So try and change everything from I, we, our to they or you, right? Make it about them. That's a task that you could do. Make it about you and them. Who are they and what their problems, right? Really understand that and give that. And then personalization, just one quick note and mini rant on this. People always think that's like first lines or AI, all this, like give a compliment, all this crap. Only give the compliment if it ties into the rest of your email. If it's just a compliment saying like, hey, I saw your latest LinkedIn post, great job. Who gives a fuck? Like, what is this shit? Like, you think they're a retard that they're going to believe like what you're saying, that you saw their latest post and you think it's great? Like, why would you think that? You don't care about their LinkedIn posts. So don't like BS them. Just get to the point, right? If you're going to give a compliment, it should be like relatively sincere, but it should also tie in, right? If you saw their latest LinkedIn post and it was good, it has to tie into what you're actually like offering in your email, right? And that could be, for example, you have a tool that automates like LinkedIn posting, right? Then it would make sense. But if you're just saying good job, but I sell like accounting services, like what the hell has that got to do with it? It's got to align. The rest of the email's got to align with the first line of the observation, right? And that's the main thing. It's observation. It's not necessarily a compliment. It's an observation. I saw that you're doing this or something. The reason why you're reaching out to them, you've got to answer that in your preview text, in your observation, your first line, not just send them a random AI generated line that's like, hey, saw that or saw that you posted on LinkedIn about this thing. Great post, unless the rest of the email's tying in with that, don't bother with doing that, right? So yeah, don't make it a random compliment. Personalization is all about actually relevance. Relevance is the most important thing. If you're relevant, right? If you're in front of the right person at the right time when they actually need you, then they're more likely to give you a response. And couple that with a really good offer and a lead magnet, then you're more likely to get like incredible response rates with your email campaigns. So yeah, follow those things. Those are some tips on how to write really good emails. I'll actually share this guide afterwards as well. Hope you found this useful. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.